Hello, pipe community. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today we have got a parsimonious pipe and a little more. Let's take a look at that pipe. This is a Briarlee little apple. In it, I have got some C&D Visions of Celophaeus, named after a short story by H.P. Lovecraft. This has got Oriental Virginia, Latakia, Kentucky, something like that. It's listed as an aromatic, and it's got an interesting topping on it. It's like red wine and spices. I'm not sure how much the room note says it's an aromatic, or at least a pretty smelling aromatic. My wife hasn't ventured close enough to give me an opinion yet. It is interesting. The topping is very distinctive. If you like alcohol toppings, you might like this. Let's take a closer look at this pipe. As before, I'm doing showing before and after, top and bottom. Pipe was a little grungy, as you can see. It cleaned up nicely to reveal some pretty swirls of grain. You'll notice this is a Briarlee. It's a second. In the top picture, the stem is obviously that filled in with something in the join, because when I got this cleaned up, it doesn't quite reach. There was some kind of putty or filler that somebody had put in there to fill that space. And it's not just a matter of clocking it. It's clocked correctly and all the way in. So just one of those interesting flaws that you come across with seconds. A top view that shows how grungy this was. I did not get the lighting in the before pictures as good to where you could see inside the bowl. The bowl really was not too bad. I did not have to ream it out much. But the rest of the pipe, you can see all of the tooth chatter and oxidation on the stem. You can still see that gap in the stem. But the briar cleaned up nicely. You can see there is a chip on the front of the bowl. Well, back of the bowl, the side that faces the smoker. With the stem cleaned up, it's actually a lot smoother than this picture shows. The one thing I didn't do, I did not take the time to get that tooth ding out of the button. It just doesn't bother me. I don't notice it when it's in my mouth, so why fix it? It's more trouble than it's worth when it's just my smoking pipe. Here we get a closer look at the rim. You can see that most of what was on that rim was just lava, but after I got all of that cleaned up, there are still some dark spots. So the rim itself was charred a little bit. If I were trying to sell this, I would sand that out, but I'm not. So I don't mind leaving a little bit of a reminder of the guy who smoked it before me. Now we take a look at the bottom. The bottom was just as dirty as the top and really revealed some nice grain. A couple of chips. Those may at some point have been fills, but you can see the stem cleaned up very nicely on the bottom as well, and revealed some decent grain. Now the last two, I'm not showing side by side just because I took them too close in really to do justice to it. But you can see in this one that the stinger was absolutely filthy, and you can see whatever that fill was on the material, the stem side. I'm not sure whether they had put some kind of a putty there and then screwed it in and knocked off whatever. No idea how they did that, but you can see that stinger was filthy. Then you can see how well that cleaned up. Stinger is actually shinier than it looks in this picture. There's still a little bit of dust and whatever down at the bottom there, but it did clean up pretty well. All in all, a nice little pipe. It's smoking well. It cost me $18 and change and filled a gap in my collection. So hard to beat that. Now, I do have another treat here. In addition to the pipe, I have something else that got added to my collection this week. and I'm very excited about this. I had seen online copies of a 1940s catalog of Pipe by Lee. This week I found an actual catalog. Let's take a look at this. Looky there. A Pipe by Lee catalog from the 1940s. Look inside. The staples are coming undone, but it's got everything in it. Nifty, nifty. It has a couple of pages, and I've got a PDF of this, but it's got a couple of pages of all the different shapes available that year. Pages and pages of shapes. Oh, yeah, staples. But looky. I'm very excited about that. That was anonymously gifted to me. Someone very generous and unbelievably kind. So whoever you are, thank you. It is an absolutely stunning addition to my Pipes by Lee collection. I will probably scan those pages and replace my current PDF with it, but because I can get much better quality scans than my PDF has. But I'm going to go back through and double check it against the PDF version, because I had printed one out, was checking them off. I think I have almost all of the shapes that were available in that catalog. There might be one or two that I'm missing, but pretty exciting. And I do have some shapes that are not in that catalog that must have been added later, but a very exciting addition to my overall collection. Thank you, whoever you are. The generosity and kindness of this community continues to overwhelm. With that, folks, I need to get this relit. You guys light something you like. Enjoy your afternoon.